KCD 2 has been out for a while now, however, I only started playing it a few weeks ago. I messed up bad with that decision. I should have been playing it from day one. The levels of immersion KCD 2 creates are unmatched by any game that has come before it, in my humble opinion. Managing to blow not just immersive RPGs like Bethesda Game Studio games, but even immersive sims out of the water with how connected this game makes you feel to Henry of Skalitz. You can almost feel Henry's stomach grumble when he exclaims that he is feeling quite hungry. I played the first Kingdom Come Deliverance after watching Angry Joe Show's 10 out of 10 review of KCD 2. I wanted to experience the first part of the story fully rather than through recaps in KCD 2. I thought after watching that review that I must be missing out on something seriously special. I struggled to see it in the first game, to be honest. I slogged my way through KCD 1, and by the end, to be honest, I just wanted to be done with it. I enjoyed my time with the game, don't get me wrong, but I didn't want to milk every last drop of content out of it like I planned to do with KCD 2. A game that I haven't yet finished, but don't feel I need to have finished to organise my thoughts and make this video. I'm already in love with the game. The first game, KCD 1, was a janky labour of love that you could tell was made with love by people who were passionate about the game they were trying to create. KCD 2 is all of those things, but minus the jank, and replace that with a big layer of polish that comes from the experience they must have gained from working on the first game and the money that they made from it. That doesn't always mean success is guaranteed, of course, but Warhorse has absolutely succeeded here. So enough yanking my pizzle, let's get into what Warhorse did to raise the bar for any other developer hoping to make an RPG anywhere near as good and as immersive as Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The thing that stands out the most about KCD 2 is how the NPCs live in the world. I'm sure most people watching this video will know how completely dead and static the NPCs are in games like Avowed, Starfield, and other similar RPGs. KCD 2 takes the random encounters you get in games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Skyrim and turns the dial all the way up to 11. I don't think there has ever been a time I travelled a long distance on my horse and didn't come across some camp of colourful characters or a drunk NPC walking home or some other form of interesting scene or person that I can witness or interact with. I had one particular 5-minute spell where I found a guy that had fallen out of a tree, so I bandaged him up. Then along the road I saw a drunk villager stumbling his way home. Then in the next village I rode up to a group of 3 villagers having a fist fight in the middle of the street. It's these interactions and moments that make a game world feel so alive. I don't need a massive sprawling map with insane graphics, even though KCD 2 has that, more on that in a bit. I just need dense, interesting locations with interesting things happening in them, and I've never played a game that does that better than KCD 2. After those 5 minutes, I knew this game was special. Everything you do in this game is designed to feel deliberate and grounded, but it doesn't take it too far. Sure, it can get annoying when Henry takes ages to unsheath his sword while you're getting smashed in the head with an axe, but it makes everything feel so much more real and visceral and satisfying when you get it right. Seeing Henry reach into the water tub to splash his face, actually being able to forge swords yourself instead of just meeting level requirements and then clicking something in the UI, like in almost every other RPG. The alchemy minigame is so satisfying. It's nice to sometimes just put time aside to relax and brew some potions. This game really gets the balance right. I'm a big supporter of the idea that you get out of a game what you put into it, and you have to work at this game. Things are slow and methodical, which only serves to make them so much more rewarding when they pay off. Even saving the game is fun and rewarding because you feel like you earned that save by brewing or buying a saviour schnapps. It's no longer just an essential video game function, it's a mechanic and something that you have to earn. It's not save scumming if you have to work to get the potion that lets you save. Maybe that's just me coping, but that's genuinely how I feel. Going back to the graphics, the screenshots from this game could very easily be mistaken for real photographs. And not even at a glance, I mean like genuinely focusing on the photo, someone who hasn't played the game might genuinely believe that is a real photograph. It's not even just the fidelity, it's the beautiful imagining of Bohemia with lush forests and majestic fortresses. The sense of progression in both KCD games is unmatched by any other RPG I've played. Henry feels so useless at the start of both games, and the way they explain it in KCD 2, I can understand being frustrating for some people that played the first and they want Henry to be as powerful as he was at the end of the first game, but I think for new players it makes sense for them to get that sense of progression again in the second game, so I personally am happy they did that. The feeling of slowly gaining back his skill and strength is beyond satisfying. When you get to the point of easily picking a lock that not long ago felt impossible, you feel so satisfied by that progress. You can go from a poor beggar that people are telling to piss off because you smell like shit, to a rich, powerful knight that everyone treats with admiration and respect. That's just how feudalism worked. Another aspect of the game that makes it so immersive is the different skill checks in dialogue. There are so many different context-dependent skill checks that let you use your skills, such as how intimidating you look, how scholarly you are, or sometimes even how good your survival skill is. This reminds me a bit of the skill check dice rolls in Baldur's Gate 3, which is a wonderful comparison, but this system in KCD 2 relies less on luck of the roll and a bit more on having leveled the appropriate skill. This makes the progression even more rewarding and just adds yet another layer of immersion. It sounds simple, but KCD takes this idea to the next level with constant use of this system, with constant skill checks for different skills. It's something that is underused in most RPGs, but in this game, they used it, in my opinion, to perfection. Your actions, your clothes, even your personal hygiene influence Henry's reputation. Let's say someone accosts you for damaging their property. You can use your charisma skill to convince them that you meant no harm so they don't report you to the guards. If you look and smell like a beggar, this is going to be hard. However, if you're clean and wearing knightly armor or noble clothes, it's much easier. There isn't necessarily a lot of branching paths and quest outcomes in KCD 2, however the way that they decided to give the player choice is in how you complete the quest, not the outcome of it. For example, to get to the wedding, Henry has two distinctly different paths to go down to achieve the same outcome, which encourages repeat playthroughs. I actually enjoyed this approach to quest design because it gives you the feeling that you are making the decisions yourself instead of being on rails, even if it ends up in the same outcome, to keep you on track with the story that Warhorse has written for Henry of Skalitz. The combat is better and faster in KCD 2 versus KCD 1. The game looks incredible. The narrative, voice acting, and quest design are leagues better than KCD 1, and I cannot wait to see what Warhorse comes up with for the future DLCs. Thinking about the future of RPGs, I don't see how companies like BioWare and Bethesda could look at this game and not feel, and to be honest, just know that they have been completely outclassed in the genre they were the kings of not long ago. KCD 2 has set the bar for immersive RPGs higher than it has ever been before, and I can only dream that the Elder Scrolls 6 will even be close to as good and as immersive as Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Christ! Shit!
Who's that madman?
Now you fucked up with that stone. You better pay me compensation, you blackguard.
We can work this out.
I need you. Have you got some problem with me? None of that, laddie. Either you pay up, or the guards will sort you out.
I apologize. I must have made some mistake. But surely you'll gladly forgive someone of my standing, won't you?
All right. No doubt he'll come in handy one day to be in your good books. So, run along, but don't try anything like that again. Wake up! Come on!